Our film begins with Bradley Fine infiltrating a black tie party with the guidance of Susan Cooper. He quickly makes it to the head honcho underground and holds him at gunpoint. Then it's revealed that it's actually Timior, the father of Raina Boyanov. And this Timior character was about to sell nuclear bombs to terrorists. And all of a sudden, Bradley's allergies act up and he sneezes. And you know how you can't really control sneezing and your whole body just moves a tiny bit when you're sneezing? Yeah, apparently he moved his fingers and he ended up shooting Boyanov. He was shocked, Susan was shocked, and she quickly gives him directions to leave through the fire escape and get on a boat back to the CIA. And this dude is like the James Bond of the CIA. Yes, James Bond is not American. I know there are a lot of people out there who think that, but no. And this guy is like the American version of him. And he's pretty dreamy, so a lot of women are into him, including Susan. Later, at dinner with Fine, Cooper receives a black box from him. She thinks it's a ring, only to be shocked that it turns out to be a cupcake necklace. He then tells her to look closer, cause apparently she has pink eye. Yeah, Susan is a bit of a clumsy girl. She's also a bit of a big girl. And she's a nerd, too. She's not like a field agent or anything. The next day, at headquarters, the boss, Elaine Crooker, briefs the agents on the mission at hand. Nobody knows where the nuclear bomb is except for Raina Bronov. And the boss sends Fine to Bronov's residence, and that night, before the mission, Cooper goes out with her best friend Nancy to a bar. She talks about how she has no idea where her life is going. She joined the CIA after she quit being a teacher, and her husband left her. And she thought things would be better after she joined the agency, but she's just the same old boring person that she was. Nancy tries to cheer her up by insulting Agent Karen Walker. But this backfires as Karen gets up and she greets them, and she's like very warm and understanding, and a little cocky too. During the mission, Fine's cameras and tech start acting up at Boyanov's residence. Cooper tells him to back off as she has a bad feeling about the whole mission because everything just seems a little too easy. But Fine doesn't listen, he just goes inside and disarms both guards. Boyanov then suddenly appears and holds him at gunpoint. Obviously all of this was a trap. And this lady kills Fine, and Susan Cooper sees everything. And Boyanov also exposes all the agents in the CIA. And on his funeral, Crooker decides to carry on the mission despite losing Fine. After confronting Cooper on calling Boyanov a thundercut on her official report, Cooper discovers a list of numbers from Fine's spy feed before he got killed. And these numbers tie Boyanov to somebody called DeLuca. He's someone that can facilitate the process of her selling the nukes to a bunch of terrorists. And Crooker has no idea who to send as all her agents are compromised. Until Susan Cooper volunteers to do the job. Ford, a CIA agent who became a US citizen, doesn't really like that idea. He insists that they change his face because he thinks that the CIA has a face-off machine, but that's just stupid. And then Crooker officially announces Cooper to be an official agent. I mean, she was already an agent, she just worked in the office. But she announces her to actually take on this case and do all the spy stuff. And when Crooker even says that she's actually considering this, Ford just storms out and he quits. And then Crooker goes through Cooper's videos of her training. Apparently she was pretty deadly as an agent, but she just decided to be an analyst and help Fine. Crooker then gives Cooper her first secret identity, and apparently she's an old lady who has 4 kids and went to Paris for vacation, and she sends her off to France to get her gadgets and get her mission on. After arriving in Paris, Cooper is brought not to a grand hotel, but to a seedy motel. In her room, she's surprised by Ford, who has now gone rogue. And after telling her a bunch of exaggerated stories of him as a spy, he tells her to get out of his way and that she's gonna ruin the mission. The next day, Cooper finds out that DeLuca's office was burned down because he knew the CIA was looking for him. And then she spots one of his associates on a photo taken by a bystander. And in a cafe, she sees Ford again, who is tailing her. He again complains that she can't really do this mission and that she should just leave. And then suddenly, DeLuca's henchman appears and follows Ford. Cooper then follows them, as an unidentified woman swaps Ford's backpack with an identical one containing a bomb. Cooper then chases and warns Ford in time for him to throw the bomb into the river without any casualties. But one of DeLuca's goons snaps a picture of Cooper and blows her cover. Then Cooper chases this goon to the burnt down office and loses him until he appears behind her and threatens her with a knife. She then takes out her gun and she threatens him, and then he starts laughing since the clip is lying on the ground beside her. Cooper, however, successfully fends for herself, and she throws him off the balcony and he dies. Oh yeah, then she vomits on his dead body. Yep, Back in her motel room, Cooper, who took the camera off the henchman, sends the footage to the CIA. Then they hear that DeLuca was talking about something called Rinaldo. They figure out that Rinaldo is some name for a Rolls-Royce car, and that it's presently in Rome. Cooper is then given another identity and flown off to Italy. And in Rome, a spy is sent to drive Cooper to intercept this Rinaldo, and Cooper then spots DeLuca going inside this casino. And to go inside, she had to look the part, so she buys this really fancy dress, she dresses up, and she's in. And inside the casino, Ford once again spots Cooper and insults her. Cooper tells him to stay away from her and that she's got this. She enters this private casino, and then she witnesses one of the waiters slip some kind of poison in someone's drink. And then she alerts the customer, who apparently is Reina Boyanov. Reina asks Cooper, who now goes by Penny, to show her the man who spiked her drink. And then she forces him to drink it, and the spiked drink, which is apparently acid or something, cuts through his throat. I mean, it was pretty grotesque. Ugh. And then Cooper, aka Penny, faints again. Boyanov then takes Cooper to dinner to thank her for saving her life, and during the dinner, Boyanov spots Ford and she signals her man to take him out. But Cooper sends out this Morse code message back to the CIA to turn off all the lights in Rome. Not all of Rome, but just a certain grid. And then when the powers go out, Ford makes his escape. Reina brings Penny to her private plane en route to Bulgaria, while Cooper is poisoned with her drink and knocked out. When Cooper wakes up, Reina tells her that she can't really trust anyone and she needed to go through her things. But since Cooper was really undercover and she had nothing that was conspicuous, Reina thought that she was just some random stranger. And all of a sudden, Boyanov is confronted by a pilot at gunpoint. Cooper quickly subdues him and the other hostiles while getting the plane under control. Boyanov then holds Cooper at gunpoint, saying that she knows she's from the CIA. But Cooper lies and makes up some kind of fake name, saying that she's a bodyguard sent to protect her, and that it's her father who sent her. And then Boyanov believes her and lets her fly them to Bulgaria. And there, they meet Boyanov's associate, Anton. She mistakenly thinks he's some kind of assassin, tries to attack him, but then she finds out that he's just some kind of bodyguard to Boyanov. And upon being left alone, she turns on her earpiece and makes her way out of the hotel, where Nancy surprises her. Apparently she was sent here because she was supposed to keep an eye on Cooper. Boyanov spots them, and Cooper tells her that she's some kind of assistant bodyguard. And then all of a sudden, somebody starts shooting at them. Whoever was shooting shoots Anton. Cooper picks up a pizza delivery scooter and chases after them, and then she finds out the person in the car is apparently Karen Walker, and she's a double agent. But just before Karen killed Cooper, she gets shot in the head with a sniper. Back at the hotel, Boyanov screams at her now two incompetent bodyguards. She tells them that she has a client that she's meeting at a party, and to not screw up tonight. And then they hire this additional bodyguard, who's apparently the same guy that brought Cooper to Rome. And at this party, Cooper spots Ford again, and he's wearing some kind of disguise. And she also spots this woman from Paris. Cooper follows her to this restaurant as Nancy attacks 50 Cent, who was performing at the party, to cause some kind of distraction. Cooper and this lady start fighting. It's a pretty good fight too. And then she stabs her hand with a knife, and just before she arrests her, saying that she's from the FBI, somebody throws a knife at her heart and the lady dies. And when she turns around, she sees Boyanov, and she asks her, "How did you do that?" And then Boyanov says, "I didn't." And guess who comes out of the shadows? It's Fine. Apparently he faked his own death, and he's also a double agent. And him and Boyanov are also doing it. Yeah. And then Cooper wakes up all tied up somewhere. I say woke up because they obviously knocked her out to get her here. And then Fine comes in and tells Cooper his entire plan was actually to get close to Boyanov by faking his death and doing her. And that he's actually still working for the CIA and that he's going to stop Boyanov. He tells Cooper to hang tight and he leaves, but Cooper's had enough. This is just too much for her. And she gets some help, frees herself, and she drives to DeLuca's estate. And DeLuca, who doesn't really trust Fine, tells Boyanov that the deal is off unless Fine is killed. Cooper then pops in and gives DeLuca her own deal, telling him that she'll actually let the deal happen if he leaves Fine alone. If he doesn't kill him, basically. She then confesses about how shitty the CIA was and how much she loves Fine, and that's why she wants him to be alive. And then DeLuca is like, okay fine, I'll just hear you out. And then this customer that DeLuca was meeting up with arrives, he gives him his payment, millions of euros worth of diamonds, and then Boyanov leads everyone to where the nukes are. Apparently it was inside the car Rinaldo this whole time. And then DeLuca all of a sudden shoots his customer and holds everyone at gunpoint. Ford once again makes an appearance but accidentally knocks himself out. DeLuca runs while Cooper shoots after him and she kills all his henchmen, and Fine gets shot in the process. Cooper then chases DeLuca, escaping in a helicopter. Ford wakes up and starts chasing after them. Cooper catches up to the helicopter while Ford grabs her boobs, accidentally. And DeLuca tries to shake them off but only succeeds in dropping Ford in Cooper's shoes. Cooper then swings herself inside the helicopter and she throws the diamonds and the nuke in the lake below. And then a very angry DeLuca attempts to kill Cooper, but Nancy, who is in another helicopter with 50 Cent, shoots him with a sniper rifle. Cooper lands the chopper, and upon landing, Ford congratulates her and they drive off to sea. And then the spy from Italy and Fine asks Cooper on a date, but she declines to have a girls' night with Nancy, and the two walk away as Cooper gets a new assignment. Shortly after, the credits roll, and then we see Cooper waking up in bed with Ford. She screams in disgust as Ford cuddles her and says, "I know you liked it." God, I enjoyed watching this movie. It's a pretty good one. I hope you guys check it out. And leave a comment if you liked my recap. Also, leave a like, subscribe to my channel, and I will see you guys on the next recap. Bye.